Dave Dugan, SNP MP for Angus. Do you, and Perthshire Glen's lovely. Do you think, Dave, that Labour are pandering to reform?
It's worse than pandering, Nicky. They're seeking to ape reform, which is really lamentable for what is meant to be one of the two major parties in the United Kingdom, two-horse race political system. And we saw in those graphics, which you alluded to, where they've ditched Labour colours and have adopted reform colours, that pathetic fear that now is right across the Labour Party and the Tories. Now, but worse for the Labour Party, the Tories tried to ape reform, and look what that did for them in the election. And Labour have learned nothing from the casualty rate of Tory MPs in the last election. Now, there was more to it than immigration and reform chasing down their coattails, but there's an awful lot of constituencies up and down England, it is only England, which the Labour Party received, but they received it courtesy of reform. And these two main English parties are absolutely horror-struck at what's happening, but they've created it. And they've created this dynamic where people have been convinced by an extreme right-wing foreign-owned media in the United Kingdom that the problems of these islands are of immigration, of desperate people trying to get a better life. And they've vilified these people rather than looking at the British elite establishment, mostly down here in London, who have corralled the vast majority of wealth on these islands into the hands of very few people and left places like Essex and Suffolk and large swathes of Kent, much of the Midlands, the North West, the North East, derelict, moribund of activity and opportunity, and penniless, a poverty of everything, putting your kids to bed at night and worrying about everything. That's what people are actually concerned about. And I'm not being patronising or condescending, telling people, oh, you think you're worried about immigration, but you're actually not. It's a demonstrable fact that people who have purpose and who have a quality of life and have a material level of living that is comfortable and reliable, and they don't have to worry about where the next electric bill is coming from. They tend not to worry about what other people look like down the street or in the shops. They just get on with their lives and are surrounded by other people doing okay as well. There are so few people in this dysfunctional United Kingdom that are doing well. That is the breeding ground for discontent. And as usual, this is a story as old as time. The establishment have turned the guns on the weakest in society to draw the fire away from themselves. It's incorrigible.
Exactly.
And the fact that a so-called Labour Party give me strength. The Labour Party have turned their fire and their resources, such as they are in the dysfunctional Home Office, on the poorest in the global society, many of whom are trying to get to these shores because of geopolitical missteps that governments in the United Kingdom have made.
Mims Davis in a
Labour
second.
Party would do this is lamentable and reprehensible.
Mims